In a system in which a teacher is a specialist of the educational system and the parents are only the passive clients, the parents understand their child's situation the way it's diagnosed by a teacher or a school educator. This means only one. The child is considered by all as stupid. That's at the best. An overzealous teacher or such a school counselor or a parent will still ask for an opinion of a child psychologist, and now the child will undoubtedly be diagnosed as having a school problem. After that, it only takes a small step for a child, like a fight at school or something like that, to be sent to the psychiatric observation. And here the child will hear a life sentence because a psychiatric diagnosis will certainly be made. And such a diagnosis follows a person all their life. I don't know a case where a patient came to the psychiatry without a diagnosis and left it without a diagnosis of the so called mental illness, and in the case of children, of the mental development disorder. And of course, disorder is now for sure there. Millions of such children go through the period of compulsory schooling and undergo incredible mental torture. At first, they are forbidden to freely develop a healthy play reflex. Then they are subject to the educational mobbing or the peer mobbing when educators and psychologists label them as psychologically handicapped or less intelligent. And finally, they quite often get to the hell of the children's psychiatry hospitals. Most of these children will stay in the psychiatry forever. They will just only move to the adult psychiatry after they turn 18 years of age. Most of them will never get a profession or have a family. Most of them will live on a social pension. Some, especially those deprived of close family relations, because those will break sooner than later, will turn towards the underworld of social pathology. These are the fruits of the public educational system around the world. But it's not everything. Even children who have adapted to this system because they have silenced their play impulse, as they have realized that in order to survive in this unequal relationship with adults, they must learn to pretend and to lie, as much as not to irritate the adults, the teachers, the educators, the parents, not to provoke their aggression. Doesn't that remind us of something? Yes, many of the careful listeners of my lecture could have noticed that such words about young individuals adjusting their behavior to the rigors of serious adults, that such words concerned the animal individuals. Yes, yes. I said before that the human species is different from the animal species in that the first one achieved its advantage over the entire kingdom of animals by developing the culture of a play, the culture that lasted freely for the first several million years of human life on Earth, and that it was thanks to this culture that the human species could enter the symbolic dimension of existence and create its civilization of thoughts and symbolic concepts, unbelievable in terms of the universe. This is what I said a few lectures ago. Was I wrong? I wish that it was a mistake, but it was not like that. And the listener is probably already guessing what has happened to the mankind in the last millennia of its history. What happened that the human species has not followed the path that ensured this phenomenal cosmic success in the form of symbolic reality. It will be such a terrible conclusion for many people that they may pay with a nervous crisis for it. This doctrine, my doctrine of psychology, however, is not created to comfort hearts, but it's an attempt to impartially study and describe the human psyche, so all conclusions must be drawn. Well, it's not really anxiety. Well, it's not really a highly developed brain. Well, actually, these are not even deliberate brain waves. All these would not be enough to create a unique symbolic dimension in the scale of the universe, a dimension that only humans can access, no one else. In order for this dimension to arise, apart from the anxiety, apart from a highly developed brain, and apart from the purpose brain waves, like a cherry on a cake, a trivial trifle, but absolutely necessary, the man had to become a species with a playful functioning strategy, because only such a strategy allowed man not only to develop the speech, but what must sound in a particularly strong way in my doctrine of psychology. Such a playful strategy is a wonderful anti-anxiety strategy. This is the most important thing in the fun strategy, that it turned out to be the most effective among all those that the primitive man tested, the most effective against the energy of the anxiety pole that harassed the man, but also the most beneficial for stabilizing the emotional pole of the psyche. Thank you.